Hi everyone, I'm here outside Belmarsh prison where there's another rally for Assange that has just started. Well, I say just started, the speeches have just started over a bit over my shoulder. As you can see, it's a smaller congregation as there was at the last rally I was here. However, this is one that's been started by just somebody who was at a rally in September and decided himself I was going to organise a get-together here at Belmarsh. This gentleman's name's Ariel. He doesn't want me to give his full name, but yeah, this is just a person who was inspired by another rally in September that he attended and did and set up his own rally here. So great stuff. Well done to Ariel for doing that. I just want to take you up here, as you might remember from my last report outside the Westminster Magistrates Court. The next hearings are going to be done at Belmarsh Prison Court rather than Westminster Magistrates, and the reason the judge said was it was going to be better for the press facilities will be better at Belmarsh Court rather than the magistrates. And as you can see behind me, that is the court that he will appear in. So there's the prison, and there's the court that he'll appear in over my, I suppose, left shoulder. It's the same court I have been informed that Pinochet appeared in before his extradition hearing. So yeah, there's some history there. He's going to be tried in the same court, or his trial is going to be in the same court as Pinochet's was. So there you go, a little bit of a tidbit of information for you. Now there are a few people at this meeting today who have flown in from the German wing of the Action for Assange committee. They say a German wing of it. It's just a German grassroots organisation. They have come over today. Somebody has travelled 17 hours on transport through Germany, through Europe to actually come here. So it's people are really starting to get aware of just how important it is that Julian Assange, who is inside that prison, remember, is not extradited to the United States. Now, I want to say a little bit about the letters that my audience have sent in and many other people have sent in. Thank you for sending the letters in, of the responses that you've got from your MPs to the letters that you've sent urging support for Chris Williamson's early day motion. Now, there are people working now, MPs who are working, who weren't aware of how important this matter was. Now they're actually working behind the scenes, so we know that that's the case. That's great. But what I want to do is just see those people over my left-hand shoulder there. They all turned up today because one person decided, you know what, I'm going to try and do something. I'm going to try and set up my own rally. One person. Now, of all the people, all the great viewers of mine who have sent in letters urging support for the early day motion to their MPs, who have then forwarded those letters on to me, I've got obviously 25 responses, something like that, and MPs are actually supporting Julian Assange now who weren't before. That has happened because of the stuff that you've done, because, you know, 20 or 30 or 40 people, excuse me, that's just... some drop of rain went on the lens then. But that's just because, what, 50 or 60 people sent in letters to their MP, and we got responses from probably half of them. You know, it might even be less, I'm just estimating there. But we got 2 or 3 MPs on board working for him as a result of that action. What would happen? What would happen if 5,000 letters went into the MPs? What would happen then? Would we have another 100 MPs supporting Assange? This is why the mainstream media, let's face it, they're not the media, they're the governmental PR, but this is why they're so quiet on it, and this is why they're not informing the public of the truth, and the MPs of the truth behind Julian Assange's situation, because if the public know the truth, they would be absolutely outraged about this. Outraged. And this is why they are stonewalling the public on it. It's why they're not reporting on it at all. It's why whenever they do report on it, they're always trying to associate Julian Assange and rape in the same bloody headline, even though this has got nothing to do with Sweden. So Keep the pressure on, I would say, people, please do. You know, this is the power of the fourth estate, right? I got 50 or 60 letters, and my viewers sent in maybe 50 letters, got 25 responses from MPs, and 2 or 3 are now working behind the scenes to actually stop the extradition and to have a fair hearing at least of Julian Assange. That's just of, 30, 40, 50 letters. Can you imagine 5,000 letters? This is what happens when the media, the fourth estate, the true fourth estate, actually gets involved on a case like this, which is the biggest case of press freedom. This is why they don't report it. Because can you imagine if 5,000 or 50,000 letters went in as a result of seeing, some news report? You only saw the news report that I did. Can you imagine if it was on BBC and the news report was doing the same thing that I did on the BBC? People would be outraged and MPs wouldn't know what to bloody do. And that's what we need to do. We need to get them to support this. We need to flood them with letters and to get them to support this man. To actually condemn his treatment, his torture inside that prison. To listen to Nils Meltzer, the special rapporteur on torture, when he says that he has never seen somebody systematically ganged up on like this in all his years, and that he's showing signs of psychological and physical torture. Remember, this guy could hardly recall his name when he stood up in Belmarsh prison in that magistrate's hearing. Excuse me. I hope I don't come down with the cold again. Excuse me. So this is why they are so silent in the media, and this is why they're trying to silence the media so badly. The fourth estate is extremely powerful, and it can be a power for good. This is why the media has been silenced and been bought by the oligarchy, by the elite, the global elite, whatever you want to call it, the governmental PR. This is why they've done it. Because so they can get away with torturing and persecuting a journalist for proving war criminals are war criminals. All right, I'm going to go over there now. I'm going to speak to some of the people, but I just wanted to do a quick report just to say, you know what? There's a groundswell of support for Julian Assange. There really is. I've seen it grown over the months, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And if the United Kingdom think that they can just bend over for the United States and let them shove their big red, white and blue dick up their arse and say, you take it, Blighty, he's a publisher, he's ours. The people of this country are going to stand up and say, Yankees, we still respect the rule of law in this country. We still respect truth. And we still respect truth tellers. And that's what Julian Assange is. Remember what Chris Hedges says. Julian Assange is being persecuted for his virtues, not his vices. And that's why we should all support him. Thanks very much for your support. Please do keep sending those letters into your MPs. We've got to keep persistent and keep the pressure on. We can really stop this from happening, but it's going to take us to do it. Nobody else is. We have got to do it. Okay, thanks very much everyone, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care and have a great weekend.